Oh, it's recording. Hey, Living Fit Tribe. So we want to start doing monthly meetings here in the Living Fit Tribe to help you with meal prep, planning, picking the right program, all of the other things that go on with your health and fitness and wellness journey. So I thought the best topic to kick off with for our first one is picking the program that meets your goals the best. And this really came up as Lindsay and I prepared to do the classic and kind of how our goals were very specific to what we were doing. And then Morning Meltdown rolled out and we did 80-day, God, has that been a year, 2 years? I don't even know when 80-day was, ago, and how the programs are built for specific things. And I feel like we kind of get a little lost in the shuffle because we get so excited for new programs. So if you've done any goal training ever at all in your entire lives, you've probably heard of setting SMART goals. So you've heard, for those of you who haven't heard, SMART goals are, S is for specific. So you want to have like a narrowed down, like what is your goal specifically, not just to live healthy. While that's a great goal, living healthy can be obtained in 1,000 different ways. And we're all working on that in this tribe. So for me, I'm just going to use the classic as an example or the Viking just because it's an easy one for me to kind of break it down. So my goal was to place at the Viking, which was the competition I just was in. Now, the M to your SMART goal is measurable. So how can you measure that? Well, that was pretty easy. I either placed or I didn't. But for you, it might be to lose 10 pounds, to lose 6 inches, to lower your cholesterol, but something you can see on data. I wish I had my little folder here. My house is currently packed in the corner. I don't know where anything is. But I fortunately did a body scan back before I started Beachbody, and then recently did one a few weeks ago. So I actually got to see body fat percentage, muscle growth. My bone density went up. So that's an effect of weightlifting. So I've actually increased my bone density, which is awesome. Okay, so specific, measurable, obtainable, or attainable. I can never say it right. Make sure it's a realistic goal. Going in and saying, I want to lose 100 pounds in 6 weeks is not going to happen. I mean, let's just set that out there. And this is where the program choices really come into play as well. So I know a lot of people have said things like, I want really defined arms. That's my goal. Or I want a 6-pack and that's my goal. We need to be, and the R comes in too, so relevant or realistic goals. If you have no intentions of following a nutrition plan to 100%, I can tell you that the abs are like way out there in Never Never Land, because mine didn't show up until the week of the classic and I was eating 100% on plan. And I think we said, no beer. It was the devil. Megan was present for me slamming my beer post Viking. It went very quickly. They were all ready for bed and I was like, party!
True story.
It was. Obtainable and realistic goals. So when you're looking at, and then the T is time bound, set a date for your goal. But I really want to focus in on that obtainable and realistic. So if you're looking at getting more defined arms, a cardio program is probably not your best decision. You're going to want to do some weightlifting. You've got to build muscle. The second thing is, if you don't have a ton of muscle, your definition's not going to be real great. So you may need to focus on building muscle before you lean out. I actually just hammered down some pie. I've switched into a bulking mode because you cannot build muscle in a caloric deficit. So I cannot eat in a weight loss plan if I have any intentions of gaining any muscle mass before next year's show at all. Like, I've got to be above and beyond. It also means that I had to say peace out to my 6-pack. It lasted a whopping like 3 weeks. Say goodbye. Because you can't build muscle if you don't have body fat. Your body actually needs that fat to grow muscle. And so as I see people posting these amazing goals and these things that they want, but then they do a 20-minute program, I don't want you guys to set yourself up for heartbreak and unrealistic expectation of the programs you're choosing. So if your main focus right now is to shed body fat, you want to lose 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever amount of pounds, a cardio-based program is going to be your best bet. You're going to burn the most calories, you're going to knock it out. If your goal has to do with muscle definition, growing muscle, leaning out, a weightlifting program is where you need to be. Now, the nutrition is 100% a factor into all of it. When we did 80 Day, it was the first opportunity for people to kind of look at the nutrition program and eat way above the bracket that they're used to. For every other program, I ate in bracket A. And then 80 Day came out and I got to eat in D and C, and I was like, all the food. And it's amazing. But we were doing hour-long weightlifting programs. We were burning a ton of calories. If there were any of you like me, I was also running. So I was burning an excessive amount of calories. And so I got to eat in those higher food brackets. When 80 Day ended, I think we kind of got blinded and thinking now we can stay in that bracket forever, regardless of the program. And so always go to the program nutrition guide and follow their calculations for whether you're eating in a weight loss or in a maintenance or a build, depending on what program it is, because it's going to make a difference. 20-minute Transform 20, you feel like you're going to die for 20 minutes. But that caloric burn ends at like minute 21. It's, you're kind of done. Whereas if you did lift 4 and you did a bunch of weightlifting, that burn's going to last a little longer, but it was still about 30 minutes. If you did 80 Day or any of the Body Beast, you are lifting for an hour. You get the burn for the hour, give or take science. So you want to make sure that you're going with the correct food plan and program for what you're going for. I kind of give a little graphic to some of my clients when they ask me about what their goals are and how to get to them and what program. And I use the XY axis. And it's, you've got your program and you got your nutrition. The shorter the program, the higher dedication to nutrition, the better result. If you want to do a little bit less on your nutrition, you're more 80-20, you need to pick a harder program so that you're burning it off. And that's kind of it. And then if you think you do a really hard lifting program and you're 100% on nutrition, boom, your results are ridiculously high. And so as we're helping our customers and our clients and we're helping ourselves, is to remember to ask what their goals are. Ask yourself what your goals are. Whoever even your family, maybe your family's goal is to eat healthy and you want to see, remember which food program you're choosing that's going to work the best to keep them consistent. And so I think I wanted to come on, and everyone's rocking it and Morning Meltdown's going crazy. And I have a Bikini Beast. We have a bunch of girls doing the Bikini Beast program, and they're learning. So in Beast, you eat a ton of yellow containers. If you are a lover of yellow containers and really hard work, that's the place to go. But they're learning that it's a totally different food program. Like, we're used to eating 2, 3 yellows. They're eating 9. But it's the nutrition you need to fire a heavy lift. And so you just remember, the lower time spent working out, the more on point you need to be with your nutrition to get the results. The longer the workout, you can kind of come down on that 80-20 a little bit more and still see good results. You're getting better results than if you did nothing. But if you want to accelerate them and you have a specific thing in mind, that's what I'm kind of, spieling out here. And it all came about because I had a ton of people at Classic and after biking that I've had messages how to get my arm definition. And it comes with lifting heavy weights and eating the correct foods. Lean into the nutrition. Even in this bulk, I'm still eating out of the top 5 or 6 on my meal plan list as much as I possibly can. Up until these wonderful piece of pie I just ate, I had eaten out of the top 3 on all categories all day. A lot of people left the show and binged immediately. Like they were going back to cookies and cake and ice cream and donuts. And I did that for like 24 hours. And by Monday, I never wanted to see sugar again. And I think that's the part of this community that's the greatest, is we're in it for long-term health solutions. So I'm not craving the cookies and the donuts and the sodas just because I was on restriction. I'm having a piece of pie because it was in our freezer from the wedding and still eating in those brackets. So I'm still getting the results. So that's all really I had. I just open up the table if anybody has anything. Yeah, beer is a different story. Although having done classic and having done Viking, I can control it better. Like it broke the habit of beer. So I used to come home, crack a beer, and go do chores. Like we have a beer fridge, I'd crack a beer, I'd go do chores. And because I couldn't, I went for months without being able to do that. And now, like last week, I cracked one Friday night and enjoyed a beer while I was sitting there eating, and that was it. And Sunday I had one when we had some company over, and that was great. But yeah, it totally like broke the habit. So, but yeah, that's kind of all I got. If anybody needs questions or thoughts on picking programs and nutrition, I'm here to help.
So Lacey, what would you suggest for someone who's doing Morning Meltdown 100? Because those workouts are around 30 minutes. If they're wanting great results but are following like 80-20, would you suggest doubling up a few days a week?
I would suggest either doubling. Depends on what their goal is. If they're trying to get a more muscular look, they need to be lifting weights. If they're looking to lose weight faster or lean out faster, I don't like the term lean out because it's ridiculous, but it's the only thing anybody understands. Would be like running. I know it's the godforsaken running thing, and I'm a junkie. I've actually had the cardio taken away completely right now. I've been working with a trainer on the side just for the competition, and so she set me up, put me back to my food that I was doing, but kind of helped me restructure my weightlifting back to beast and give me some tips. And she said I need to basically cut cardio from here until next March because it was my metabolism so ramped up that I was burning too many calories. So I think for the Morning Meltdown crew, know what your goal is first and know what it is realistically. If your goal is to have muscular looking build, to have more definition, there needs to be weightlifting probably increased than the program. And I think if it's to lean out, lose more weight, then it needs to have added cardio or double up. Now, if you're just, in it to slow, your progress isn't going to be as quick, the program is great the way it is. Y'all are quiet. It's 85 degrees in this house. I'm dying of sweat. So somebody better come up with something.
Madison's singing. I just turned it on.
Yeah, I was like, going. This is basically what I do, so it's fine.
I'm trying to think of something.
Okay, I'll talk. So the reason I put that comment in there is because I wish my body could do all of those things that you just said. But so keep that in mind for any of your challengers who are struggling and are following this, because my challengers, I obviously gravitate and I have a lot of autoimmune people, and we can't do that. We can't do 2 workouts. We can't add running in there.
And that's realistic.
Yeah. So keep that in mind too for your people, because I'm listening to you and I'm going, oh, if only it was that easy for me. I would love to do 2 workouts, and my body goes the opposite way. I hold on to things. So sorry, my kids are really loud. So just keep that in mind too. If you have somebody who's really struggling, which I actually just sent a girl to a chiropractor this week because I'm like, I think you have adrenal fatigue going on. You need to find something. Her doctors are telling her she's fine, and she's gained 25 pounds in the last 4 months. I'm like, there's something going on. And she's been working out. She told me what her nutrition was. It wasn't super horrible. Sorry about the loudness here. But, so that's just another piece of it. And they have a friend over, so it's So anyhow, so like,
No, and Jessica, I totally like I have a couple people that have things. And so when I always dig in with them, we always dig in, and anyone from our Living Fit tribe, I'm welcome. Like I always dig in and say, okay, but we start with the nutrition. Like that's my starting point. Let's look at your nutrition. If that's not working, then let's look at your program. But always with consulting physician, always with underlying conditions considered. Yes, I have a couple people actually that have thyroid issues and one autoimmune person in the group. And so that's definitely a starting point. This really evolved, this topic and conversation, when Morning Meltdown came out and everyone was posting their goals. And they were these huge goals. And I remember doing it myself of like posting that, like, I want abs, I want, like dream picture. And it's realizing the work that goes into those pictures. And especially if you've got something adding to your mountain to climb. And so it's finding what works best. I have one girl that literally, like, when she has too much cardio, her body does the same thing. Like it basically just takes everything and says, I'm staying forever. And the program that has worked best has been Chalene Extreme, because it's slow, heavy reps. And that program has been phenomenal. And so it's looking to find, all right, you've got this challenge, you have this goal. What do we need to do to make it happen? And so, yeah, we always take into account your health first. Yeah. Thank you. I forget to bring it up.
oh, I'm unmuted. Yeah, it's totally at the forefront of my everything, because I've watched you do yours and I think it'd be really great. I really would love to do 2 workouts and work out as hard as you do and have a body like yours, but like, so that's something, just keep that in mind with your challengers too. I try and remind everybody that, to keep that in mind, for all of that too. So.
Yeah. And that's where the setting smart goals. So what is actually attainable? For me, like to go up to so there's different levels in like the bodybuilding thing, to go to the next one for me would be like, it's a challenge that would take years. And so everyone's built a little different. Some people build muscle really quick. Some people lean out really quick. Some people they're fighting another factor. And so I think that's where knowing those SMART goals is so important and vital. Like knowing what is even obtainable, because I've got someone that she's never, ever, ever going to obtain a small frame. It's not going to happen. She's a very large frame. Like, my God, crush me. And she looks great. She looks phenomenal, but the way she's built and her health factors, her goal is to live healthy and to control what she has. So that's a great goal. That's obtainable. She can see her blood work come back and know that she's hitting right where she needs to be. And so that's where, like, I don't want everyone chasing to be at the bikini show. That's crazy. And so I just want people to know what they're going for instead of just running in the dark and then being so unhappy. I had a challenger that quit completely because she said she wasn't getting the results she needed. And it's hard when I've seen you in town and you're still drinking Mountain Dew. And it's hard when I know you're skipping the workouts. And it's really hard when the workouts you choose aren't like getting you there. And so that's what I want everyone to understand, is just we're all here for support and getting you, like, if you don't know what the best nutrition plan is for you, or you've tried everything and you can't figure it out, like, we've got so many resources that are just ready to help knock it out of the park for you. And yeah, like, it's awesome that you have a group that, like, you're helping them recognize the fight that it's taking them and the mountain to climb, and that, like, it might be smaller steps, but they're making the steps. And so that's fantastic.
That's a great thing to keep in mind too, is like, it's like a staircase. When you first start, you start at the bottom, and at first, just getting up and moving, it makes a huge difference. And then once you've got that step mastered, then you take the next step and you start dabbling in nutrition. And then once you have that done, you take the next step and you start maybe doing a more difficult program. So I think it's definitely like like it's a stepping stone, like it's that comparison thing, like blinders on, where am I at right now? Where am I going? What's my goal for right now? I can't go from the bottom of the staircase and jump to the top step and expect to be able to master the whole staircase my first time, you know, one step at a time.
And this is for the recording. Ashley Gardonia, set a timer on your phone to remind you to watch this every month. She literally just texted me, was like, I forgot about the meeting. I need to set a reminder. So I'm going to say it in the video. So when she gets done watching the recording, she'll set the timer. Just so anyone's wondering.
Oh my gosh, we should all get off the Zoom and message her like minute after minute. Like, hey, you should set your alarm to get on the Zoom. Hey, you should set an alarm. Hey,
I sent her like 7 memes. I sent her 7 memes. She's totally bombarded at this point. But yeah, I guess that's all I really had.
If anybody has ideas on like topics, you know, like this is cool roundtable, like talking about nutrition and stuff, like in the Living Fit Tribe, this is what we want to do, is like kind of bring to light some of the more like challenges or things that's going well. And so if anybody has ideas on things. Sleep is my topic. Who actually gets more than 7 hours of sleep? Anybody? Well, you, right? Any adults in the room?
I got 10 hours on Sunday. That felt
Yeah, usually on the weekends it's catch-up time, so.
Our main Carson do is get up and watch cartoons.
Yeah.
That's all we do.
So topic next month, sleep?
Yep. Next month. Oh, wait.
So.
Any other questions or anything?
Is everyone on like a program they're loving, or they're kind of like, meh? I've quit. All right. So somebody put on there about they couldn't find a program they loved. Let's be honest. I've quit Transform 23 times now. I make it to week 2 and I'm like, nope, this ain't my jam. I'm going to do it one of these times. But I've quit 3 times. Like I get to week 2 and I'm like, I'm done. I packed the step today. Like it's in a box. It's gone. I don't want to see it till the house is done. It's not happening. I gravitate back to Beast every time. I'm sure you're really entertaining, Lindsay, but it's just awful.
I'm horrible at it. I've practiced like once since I got certified, so I need to practice some more. I should do a live feed video and do it in the team page or something.
Ooh, that's all I want.
I'm trying to get it set up so Lindsay can come teach a class at the brewery. The owner's interested, so.
The hard thing is it'd have to be on the weekend though, because Thursday night somebody has dance, so I can't do Thursdays.
Did our Wednesdays move to Thursdays?
Well, they're every night, but Maston's on Thursday this year, so.
Yep.